third generation of the hood bonnet solar panels for Mercedes Sprinter. What comes in the package is 2 panels. You have the wrap, the film that you attach on the bonnet, and then you attach the panels on this one. You have some zip ties to attach all the cables. You have 2 splitters to connect the 2 panels down to 1 cable. You have the MPPT, and you have some tape to attach the panels onto the film. So I have already cleaned the hood here as good as I can. I used this one, which is for like windows, and I also cleaned it yesterday with some car soap. Make sure when you clean the hood that you use something that does not leave like fibers or trace or something like paper. Use something that completely cleans off the hood. Since the vinyl came in a roll, you want to put it under the panels for like 10-15 minutes to just flatten them out. It's more easy to work with. So if you want, you can measure out the center of the hood. From this edge here is 40 centimeters to here. And then you take a mixture of water and soap and make sure that you spray a lot on the hood and on the back of the wrap. And if you have not applied enough, then you can just continue. You feel pretty fast if you have not applied enough of soap and so on. Here is pretty good. So what you do is that you take this one and you start from the middle and you press the water out like this. Now it's pretty even. Some air bubbles I opened with a needle to get the air out. After you attach the vinyl, make sure that you don't wash your car for the next 48 hours at least. You should not apply this in temperatures below 10 degrees Celsius and also not in direct sunlight. But I don't have a garage and today is not super warm, so I'm going to leave it like this until tomorrow so the vinyl really attaches to the hood. So the weight of one panel is more or less 0.3 kilos. And the weight of the MPPT with the cables is more or less 0.45 kilos. And look at this, 24 hours later, and it sits like a glove. I really like the quality of the wrap here. So the reason why you put this wrap on here on the hood is because if you want to take the solar panels off for some reason, then the tape is not attached on the paint job itself. And also it gives a more cleaner look on the overall installation. So just make sure that you clean the panel off. And then you take this one. It comes in the package, like alcohol pad, adhesion promoter, to just clean the surface off here. And since this is going to be attached on the hood with a lot of speed, air, rain, maybe snow, sand and whatnot, the recommendation is to use minimum 2 rolls of this. So you may also need a scissors for this, or a knife, whatever floats your boat. So this is how far you will get with 1 roll that comes with the package there. So it's good if you have an additional roll of tape, because you can see it's a little bit missing there, some in the corner here and here. You can see here, this tape is the one that I bought additional to this. It's a little bit left here on the roll, but I think this will do it. Unlike the wrap, which you don't want to apply in direct sunlight, this you want to apply in direct sunlight, because you want this tape to get really stuck to the plastic, the underside of the solar panels here. So make sure that you line them up exactly where you want them, because the tape is extremely effective. So you only have one shot to do this. Another pro tip is to create hinges up in here, because when you lift this up and you unpeel the tape, it stays in position in the place where you want it, and then you just fold it down and it will be like good. And remember, you only have one shot here. Like this, right? And a little bit of tape. Make sure that you really press the corners down, because there is more weak, so to say. Because here along the sides is a long tape, but you know, in the corner it's like small dots, small snippets, whatever. You should put some pressure on here, but for me it's pretty difficult because it's leaning towards all directions here, but I will do the best I can. It may look funny, but I don't have bags of soil and whatnot. And if you do like this, it's very effective, I would say. Because you put a mat and then some blankets, whatever you have, and on top of that, some plywood or multiplex in my case, and then just strap it up like this, and then you can press it in here. So you really press down on the corner of the panel. So this will definitely do the job for the next 24 hours. "24 hours later, it's really nice attached here. I like the quality of the panels. It feels really good. It does not feel cheap at all. You can use, for example, the Tech 7 or, for example, Sikaflex 521 UV. And then you do like this. Put tape here and the tape on the panel, like 3-4 mil from the edge, and just seal it up, and then you peel off the tape immediately. So you get straight lines here around. That looks best. I really like the charge controller. It feels nice. It's not super big, it's pretty tiny, so that will fit good in the engine bay. Information is here. 12 volt, 10 amp, 130 watt. On the back side here is 4 heat sinks. Since I have my box with my lamp on this side, I'm gonna have the charge controller on this side. I've seen a lot of people mount it like this. To start with, I don't have any place to mount it like this. And second, because of the heat sinks here, I prefer to mount it like this. And to be able to hang it there, I'm going to use this, the L-tracks, cargo tracks, airplane tracks. So I'm going to attach it here, in the bolt in which the hinge for the bonnet is sitting. If you do the similar process, make sure that you release one bolt at a time. Otherwise, the whole bonnet will just... To release these two bolts, you will need to go with a 15 mil. There's a lot of opportunities to attach screws in. I'm going to use the 2 ones in the middle. That would be enough for me. So I'm just going to place it here. And then I take a self-drilling screw for metal, screw it in and screw it in. Like this. Really nice. It really blends in also. If you look from a distance. And here comes the cables that should go to the battery. They're almost 1.5 meters. And I don't have any battery here in the bay, so I will need to pull the cables through here and then see how far I can reach, because the battery is in front of the driver's seat. So it reached to here. So I have more or less, let's say 30-40 centimeters left, because I need to go in here and then down to the battery. I also zip tied up another cable there. And that's the reason I have this cable with a fuse holder on there, because then I can use this for whatever I'm going to connect to that cable in the future. So there's a battery symbol, there's a light symbol, and there's a solar panel symbol on the charge controller. The one in the middle, this cable, you can plug in whatever you want to run as long as you have sun. So for example, maybe a dash cam only in daylight, or if you have additional fans cooling down your like Orion or another charge controller. For me, I'm not going to have anything only when the sun is up at the moment. So I just isolated the cables and I tied them up there. Also make sure that you close this one really good, so you don't have any dirt or other things coming in there. So the cable that sits on the charge controller is a 14AWG. I will extend it with this one, which is 2.5 mm2, that can carry around 20-24 amp. You can choose to use these ones if you extend the cables. Make sure that you have the heat shrink tubes on also. I choose to go with Vago, like this. And I know what you are thinking, it's not made for outdoors, but it's all fine because I sealed it up with some electric tape and some fabric tapes. The Vagos that I use is the 221. They can easily carry up to 32 amps. The charge controller comes with a 15 amp fuse on the line. Make sure that you take it out during the operation here. So the negative on there and the positive on there. And then you come in here with your MC4 cables that you will need to connect to this one. And then you pull the cables in like this. I tried it out now here to see if they can reach all the way. And it seems to be all fine. It comes here and then it goes in here. The same spot as my cable from a ditch light. And down to the charge controller. The panels comes with a 3-meter extension cable here. So you can technically go from here down here and come in here somewhere and then extend it all the way and connect everything here. So now it's more clean. Now you can really see what's going on here. And then it goes up to here, comes to here. And then you may ask, what's going on here? And the reason is here. You can see the cables, right? This one goes like this and this one goes like this, instead of having this and this one the other way. I wanted it to look symmetric and nice. So the reason why you want to install this kind of solar panels for your starter battery is because of this. There you have it, right? This means that the battery is very, very low. I cannot even unlock the van with the app. So I'm going to take the fuse and I'm going to put it in. The green light means that the panel is absorbing sun. The yellow light is for the battery, which is now connected, and the red, which is not on at the moment, is for the load. See the difference? So during the waiting time here for the battery to charge, I sealed it up a bit with the Tech 7. It's really nice. You know, when you put tape and you get these sharp lines, that's really nice. So it prevents water from coming in when I'm driving and when it's raining. So they are doing a really good job there in the sun. Today is like super warm. 2 hours later, let's see if it has charged anything. Sweet, look at that. It's more or less sunset now, and I just unlocked the van with the app, so the battery is all fine. It sits super nice here. Even now when it's cooler outside, it's only like 18 degrees now, but it feels really nice. They really became one with the hood. It does not feel cheap or loose or anything. So they also have an app that you can download, Solar Life BT. So you open it up, you connect to your charge controller, and then it's pretty straightforward. PV 24.1 volt, battery 13.5, load 13.5. So currently float on the PV, battery normal, load discharging. I don't have anything on load, and we have bright sunlight today, so it's like fully charged. If I click, for example, on battery, then I can see here battery voltage, battery current, temperature, battery status, and so on. But as you see here in the bottom, 60 days of energy consumed graphs. It has been up for a few minutes, so I don't have any here. Today is a pretty cloudy day. There's not much of sun going on up in here. So let's jump into the app and have a look. Not charging. Right, that's interesting to know. So on a cloudy day like this, there is no charging. So after a couple of weeks now of using these solar panels, I must say that they perform really well. My battery has not died once, and also it takes more or less no space, because what else should you do on the hood, right? So a really big thank you to Lensun that sent me these solar panels, so I can show you here in the video how to install them and how to use them and so on. If you click the link down below, you can go in on their website and you will see that they have an ocean of different panels. So you will for sure find one that fits your van or vehicle. Also, if you use the code Deelay, you will save yourself some money. Thanks for watching and have a great day now.